Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Austin. I have a degree in finance and I'm here to help you make more money, save more money, and invest more money. And today we're going to be talking about how to build your wealth in college. You might think that's not something to worry about until after graduation, but actually it's one of the best things that you can do for your future. And by starting early, you can take advantage of compound interest, reduce your student debt, and achieve your financial goals faster. So in this video, I'm going to show you practical tips on how to build wealth in college. So if you want to learn, watch the video to the end. Don't forget to smash the like button for the algorithm. Thank you so much, and let's get into the video. To me, I think one of the most important things you can do in college is start by building your credit score. Good credit can provide you access to more financial opportunities and save you money on interest. And I know you might not be thinking about buying a home right now, but when that time comes, according to LendingTree, you can save $41,000 just by having a good credit score. And this is something you can do for totally free. That's why I think it's good to start in college. And one great way to build your credit score in college is to get a secured credit card. So a secured credit card requires a deposit as collateral, which kind of acts as your credit limit and protects the issuer in the case that you default. I say use this for the small purchasers that you can easily afford, but then make sure you pay the balance off at the end of the month. These cards don't have high limits, so it can help you build your credit score without getting you into too much trouble. I think the Discovered It secured credit card is an excellent choice for those who need an option for those first credit cards, and there's no monthly fees, and there's even a cashback feature. And then paying off your balance at the end of every month is essential for building a great credit score. This will help you avoid paying interest and fees, which can lower your credit score and cost you more money. I know in college is a very busy time, so it can be easy to forget about your payments, but you really don't want to carry a balance because the interest on these cards will eat you alive. Then you're going to want to keep your credit utilization below 30%. So this means not using any more than 30% of your borrowing limit on any of your credit cards. And this will show that you're not relying too much on the debt and that you have plenty of room for new credit, which will benefit your credit score. Checking your credit report and score regularly is also very, very important. You can get a totally free copy of your credit report from each of the 3 major credit bureaus once a year at annualcreditreport.com. You can also get a totally free credit score check from various sources online such as Credit Karma and Credit Sesame. Checking your credit regularly can help monitor your progress, spot any frauds, and identify areas for improvement. But don't let it go out of check. Then I think after around 12 to 24 months of responsible use on your secured card, then I think it's probably time to upgrade to an unsecured card. And an unsecured card is a regular credit card that doesn't require any deposits and usually has higher limits. They also have lower interest rates and better rewards than that secured Discovered It card. So in college, when I got my first credit card, it was a Chase Freedom Unlimited. And I would still highly recommend this card, but it wasn't the only card I got. I think I ended up getting at least 3 different credit cards in college, and each time they would just give me one because I was showing that I was a responsible borrower, and eventually these credit limits were getting to be super, super high. By the time I was out of college, they had a borrowing limit of over $20,000. Upgrading to an unsecured card can help you with further improve your credit score by increasing those credit limits that we were talking about and diversifying your credit mix. However, make sure that you can handle the increased responsibility because these cards will eat you alive if you do not get on top of it and you miss some payments. And personally, I wouldn't go for any cards that have an annual fee attached to them. So the next tip that I think is super important in college is to make sure you have an income or side hustle. You really can't get wealthy if you just are sitting at home doing nothing. This will allow you to save more, invest more, and pay off those debts faster. Your money doesn't grow on student loans, okay? So you need to find ways to make money in school. There are so many different side hustles that you can do as a college student that don't require any time or skill. And I know college is a super busy time with school, studying, and extracurricular activities. That's why I chose these examples because they can be done on your time and go as you want. My favorite example is food delivery or delivering groceries like DoorDash and Uber Eats. You can set your schedule on your own and earn tips on top of your base pay. I know in college, a couple of my roommates would do this, and at night they would go because they'd be paying extra bonuses like $2 or $3 per order. So it wasn't unheard by any means for them to come home making at least $25 an hour. Plus, just hopping in a car after studying or working out or something like that is a super convenient option, and it's a good way to put some money in your pocket. Another option that I found more popular with people who love their 4-legged friends would be dog sitting and dog walking. You can choose the type and size of the pets that you want to work with, and it can be a great option to do maybe a route of dogs that needed a short walk while their owner is out working. It's a great way to make some extra money while also getting your little daily dog fix in. The best apps I have found are Rover and Wag, where you can create profiles for free. There are so many different options aside from just these options that I just told you, and anything that you can do to make a little bit more money to hopefully spend or maybe invest will help you out tremendously. Really, any jobs would work, but I just personally wouldn't recommend anything in the campus jobs. They typically only pay your state minimum wage, and there are so many better opportunities. than just working for minimum wage at your local college. It's just a waste of time, okay? That brings us to savings accounts. Just a year ago, this topic was extremely boring, but due to interest rate changes, you can now get a real return from your savings account once again. We call these accounts high yield savings accounts, and it's a type of account that typically makes 20 to 25 times more than national average of your standard savings account. That means you earn more money on the money that you just have sitting in your bank account. There's really no more additional risk. It's almost like upgrading from a flip phone to an iPhone. You get more features, you get more speed, you get more fun, but you get no more extra cost. So we got to talk about what the best accounts are. All these accounts are insured by the FDIC program to ensure your money is safe. So I'm going to go over my 3 favorite options and you can decide for yourself what might be best for you. Up first is LendingClub's high yield savings account. They're offering 4.25 APY and they have no fees and no monthly cost. The only catch is you need to deposit $100 minimum, which that shouldn't be a big deal considering you are now making money with your side hustle. They have an app that you can use 24/7 to make life just a little bit simpler. And at 4.25%, just having $100 in there for about a year will make $4.25 for doing nothing, just sitting there and doing nothing. And that's simply because interest rates are up and banks can now afford to pass this savings on to you. So my next favorite option, but it really only makes sense if you are saving over $3,000, and that's the Robinhood Cash Sweep program. The biggest benefits of this Cash Sweep program is that they're offering a 4.4% APY, which is possibly one of the highest that I have ever seen. And what I really like about it is I can easily invest my money right from the app. So there's no need to transfer a bunch of money around from account to account and have no idea where it's at. And the only downside of Robinhood though, there's a $5 monthly fee. So that's why it only makes sense if you have over $3,000 in savings for this account. Otherwise, I wouldn't recommend it. Another great, very convenient option if you're eligible is the Apple's new savings account. They've teamed up with Goldman Sachs to bring a savings account for those who hold an Apple card. They're offering 4.15%, but you need that Apple card. So it might be a good option if you have the card, otherwise maybe look at something else. So one of these accounts should fit most scenarios, and most people will find that the LendingClub is gonna be their best choice since you only need $100 down and you get pretty amazing return. And that brings us to our next tip, and that is to educate yourself about personal finance. Educating yourself about personal finance is like taking a class, but it actually matters. It will help you understand how money works, how to manage it wisely, and how to make it grow. And I know it's boring, but there are a ton of iconic books out there that have made people millionaires, okay? Personally, I hate reading, not about it. I'd rather pull out my fingernails, but with technology, almost all books are now audiobooks now. So I can finally manage to, I guess, enjoy reading books. They're like little pocket mentors, okay? They teach timeless principles and proven strategies and practical tips that you can apply to your own situation. They can also inspire you, motivate you, and challenge you to think differently. 2 books that I would highly recommend for anyone who wants to build their wealth in college are Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. These aren't just books for your bookshelf, okay? These are classics that have changed the lives of millions of people around the world. Think and Grow Rich is a book that teaches you how to turn your thoughts into reality, and it's based on the research of Napoleon Hill, who interviewed 500 of the most successful people in America in the early 20th century. He discovered that they all shared a common philosophy of success, which he distilled into 13 principles that anyone can follow. And one of the best parts about Think and Grow Rich, it's so iconic that it is now in public domain, so that means it's available for free online, and you can even watch it here on YouTube or listen to it, I suppose. Rich Dad Poor Dad is a book that teaches you how to escape the rat race and become financially free. It's based on the story of Robert, okay? He had 2 fathers, one biological father who was poor and one father who was rich. Well, it was his friend's father. And he realized his poor dad had an employee mindset while the rich dad had the investor mindset. And this book shows you 2 different mentalities, one that leads you into poverty and one that leads you into wealth. It's like choosing between ramen or steak for dinner. And spoiler alert, you want to be the guy who's eating steak. So if you want to build wealth, especially in college, I would highly recommend these 2 books. And the younger that you understand these principles, the more wealth that you will probably build for yourself as you get older. And it's totally possible that it might even change the way you think. And if that's the case, that would be totally priceless, especially while you're so young in college. Now we need to move on to what might be the most important part about building your wealth. Now we have a good income and we have done a great job saving. It's time to invest some of that leftover money. It was the summer after my freshman year that I began my investing journey. I made some money painting houses, then took that money and put it straight straight into the stock market. My thoughts were get the money in the market as soon as possible and let it start working for me. And that's what I started doing with just the couple of $1,000s that I had. Investing is a process of putting your money into assets that have potential to increase in value over time. The goal of investing is to make your money work for you and make it grow faster than inflation. There's so many ways to invest. You can invest it in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, real estate. Each type of investment has its own characteristics, disadvantages, advantages. You need to know how they work, how they generate returns, and how they fit into your risk tolerance and time horizon. Risk tolerance is the degree of uncertainty that you are willing to accept in exchange for a higher return. Time horizon is the length of time that you plan on holding onto your investment before selling. Generally speaking, the higher the risk, the higher the potential for return. And the longer that you have your time horizon, the more likely you are to overcome those short-term fluctuations, and you can benefit from longer term growth. In order to invest as a college student, you really need to choose a low cost investing platform. An investing platform is a service that allows you to buy and exchange investments through an online website or maybe even an app. And there are many investment platforms available on the market, but not all of them are suitable for beginners and college students. Some of them charge high fees, require high minimum deposits, or offer just a limited amount of options for you. That's why I recommend using Webull as your investing platform. Webull is an online brokerage that offers ETFs commission free and free trading of stocks, ETFs, options. Everything's free, and that's the point, okay? So you can open one for as little as $0 and get access to advanced tools, market data, news, analysis, you name it. And I also have a link in the description for a free stock up to $1,600 when you deposit money into your Webull account. Along with Webull though is Robinhood, which is another great option, and I have a link for that one for free stock as well. But honestly, either of these work great. But if you're a beginner, I may lean more towards Robinhood because it's a little bit easier to use, but it comes down to your personal preference. And personally, I actually use both of these apps, so whichever one works. Now, what to buy? So I am no financial advisor, but my favorites are indexes and ETFs. These are funds that track the performance of specific market indexes like the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ 100 tech company. Index funds and ETFs offer similar advantages for beginners such as low cost, you get diversification, simplicity, and passive management. But by investing in index funds or ETFs, you can get exposure to a large number of companies and sectors without having to pick individual stocks. It's like buying a basket of stocks and you can own just a little piece of all of them. This can help you reduce your risk and lower your fees and match the market returns. My two favorite are ticker symbol SPY and VOO. So they track large portions of the stock market, providing consistent returns around 9% each year. And historically, as you can tell from this chart, they have done very, very well. It's as easy as logging into the app, typing VOO under the ticker symbol, and buying the amount that you want. We gotta wrap it up, okay? Building wealth is super crucial, okay? It's never too early to start investing in your future. So by following these tips that I've shared, such as building your credit score, increasing your income with side hustles, and using a high yield savings account, you can set yourself up for success, baby. And you've already made it this far, so that shows to me that you're actually very serious about it. Remember, you just gotta start small. You can be consistent and your investments will compound over time, leading you to a better future. Okay, guys, thank you for tuning in. And if you found the video helpful, please like it, okay? It does me a lot. It helps me out so much. Consider subscribing to the channel for more content, and good luck on your financial journey. And I hope you graduate too, I guess.